Welcome back to Listen Up. Have you ever witnessed a mighty river carving through stone, silently yet relentlessly shaping the land? There's no grand spectacle, no explosion of power, but the effect is undeniable, unstoppable. Today, we're tapping into that same quiet strength, the kind that doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to prove itself. It just is, and that's enough. Silence, when used wisely, is more powerful than any boastful proclamation. It dismantles egos, shatters illusions of control, and leaves a mark that words could never leave. As Rumi wisely said, the quieter you become, the more you are able to hear. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it's the presence of purpose. It heightens your awareness, magnifies your presence, and makes your absence resonate louder than any presence could. In a world full of noise, of people justifying, explaining, seeking validation, your silence is the ultimate act of defiance. When you remain silent, you refuse to play into the game they've created. Nothing shakes their confidence like realizing they can't sway you, can't provoke you, and can't control your reactions. Picture this: a towering mountain, unmoved by storms, unshaken by the world around it. It doesn't boast. It simply stands in its quiet strength. That's your silence. It's your boundary, your fortress, saying, "You cannot touch me." Pride feeds on reaction. It thrives when it knows it's triggered you, when it can make you waver. But when you hold your ground and stay silent, you starve it. Pride, like glass, may look unbreakable, but silence cracks it open. It leaves people questioning their own actions, forcing them to confront their insecurity in a way that no words ever could. Think of a game of chess. Most players rush into battle, revealing their cards too soon. The master, however, is patient. Every move is calculated, every moment of silence intentional. With your silence, you've already won, because you've made them doubt their every move, second-guess their strategy, and fear the uncertainty of your inaction. You are the master, and their pride begins to crumble. This isn't about revenge or manipulation. It's about you claiming your power, standing in your truth, and no longer letting someone else's pride pull your strings. When you stop defending, explaining, or justifying yourself, you step into your true strength. You reclaim your energy and shift the power dynamic. Silence is not weakness. It's the highest form of self-respect. It is saying without words, "I am enough. I don't need your approval to know my worth." Think about the moon. It doesn't chase attention. It simply shines. It commands the night sky with its quiet brilliance. That is your silence. Your presence, unshaken and unbothered, will capture their attention in ways their noise never could. They'll be forced to reckon with their own pride, and your strength will remain untouched. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Pride blinds people to their flaws, but silence strips that illusion away. When you stop feeding their ego with reactions or explanations, you make them confront their own cracks. In the void of your silence, their armor begins to weaken, and their pride starts to break apart. Think of fire and wind. Fire burns with loud intensity, but wind, quiet, unnoticed, has the power to reshape landscapes. Wind can shift mountains of sand, carve canyons, and quell flames. That's the power of silence, subtle yet undeniably powerful. When their pride blazes before you, your silence is the wind that extinguishes it, not through force, but through quiet persistence. Choosing silence takes immense strength. It requires restraint, discipline, and a deep trust in your own worth. It's not about being passive. It's about refusing to let someone else's pride dictate how you respond. Silence is your shield, your strength, and your path to true power. In a world obsessed with being seen and heard, silence becomes revolutionary. It's the ultimate rebellion against arrogance. When you break their pride with the strength of your silence, you're not just winning a small battle, you're mastering inner peace. You're showing the world that true power isn't loud or aggressive. It's quiet, steady, and unwavering. When you choose silence, you're not just stepping back, you're stepping into your own liberation. The affirmation for today: my silence is my power. I stand in my strength, unwavering and calm. Drop this affirmation in the comments to claim your power over the noise around you and manifest your unshakable confidence. If this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're committed to bringing content that empowers and elevates. Your support fuels this mission, helping us reach more souls who need this message. Let's continue to grow stronger together. Number 1. Become the storm they never saw coming. Have you ever witnessed a storm approaching quietly at first, as the sky turns dark and the wind begins to shift? It doesn't announce itself. It simply builds, slow and steady, until the world cannot ignore its force. That's the transformation you're about to embrace, becoming the storm they never saw coming. A storm doesn't need to shout to be felt. It simply moves, leaving everything in its wake altered. And today, you're learning how to harness that quiet, relentless energy to break through barriers they never expected you to cross. Silence is power in its purest form. As Charles de Gaulle once said, silence is the ultimate weapon of power. This isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about wielding your energy so effectively that others are left scrambling to catch up. Silence is the calm before the storm. When you choose to hold your peace, you're not retreating. You're building the pressure that will soon change everything. In that stillness, you're preparing to explode into action with a force they won't be able to comprehend. Think about a mountain, unmoved by the winds, unshaken by the storm. It doesn't boast of its strength. It simply stands, immovable and untouchable. Your silence is that mountain. You're not running from confrontation. You're staying grounded, letting the storm of your inner strength gather until it's undeniable. Your power grows silently, gaining momentum with every moment you refuse to engage in their chaos. And when the time is right, you will strike, and they'll never see it coming. Pride thrives on predictability. It feeds on knowing how you'll react, how they can push your buttons and control the situation. But when you step back and choose silence, you disrupt their entire game. Picture a battlefield where suddenly the opposing forces stop moving. The other side is left confused, unable to react, unable to strategize. Your silence isn't weakness. It's a calculated move that forces them to question everything they thought they knew about you. In that silence, you're not just withholding words. You're forcing them to face their own insecurity, their own doubts, and their own pride. This isn't about revenge or seeking to hurt them. It's about reclaiming your power, rebuilding your strength from within, and creating the space for new growth. Just like a storm clears the air, your silence clears the path for you to move forward, leaving behind only what serves you and your future. Your silence isn't about them, it's about you. It's about reclaiming your energy and reserving it for what truly matters: your growth, your peace, your unshakable strength. Think of a lion watching from the shadows. It doesn't roar to announce its presence. It observes, waits, and chooses the perfect moment to strike. That's the power of your silence. It's the quiet preparation for the thunderous shift you are about to make. As you step into this storm, remember, silence is not weakness. It's strength under control. It's the power to rise without warning, to leave an indelible mark without a single word. They won't see it coming because they never anticipated the power of someone who doesn't react, doesn't chase, doesn't play by their rules. You are the storm, unpredictable, unstoppable, and undeniable. Affirm this with me. I am the storm they never saw coming. Drop this affirmation in the comments and feel the strength of your silence building within you. Each time you choose not to react, repeat this mantra to yourself and remember, the storm is gathering. If this message ignites something inside you, if you're ready to become the storm and leave their pride in the dust, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We're here to empower you, to help you unlock your full potential and to create a community of unstoppable force. Let's rise together, like the storm you are. Like, subscribe, and remember, your silence is your superpower. Number 2. Be the flame that refuses to burn for them. Have you ever seen a flame flicker in the dark, desperately trying to burn brighter, but with no one there to witness its glow? It burns for nothing, without purpose, without appreciation, until it eventually burns itself out, leaving the room colder and darker than before. This is what happens when you waste your energy, your warmth, on those who fail to see your value. You exhaust yourself, giving endlessly to those who never reciprocate, while their pride grows stronger, feeding off your fire. But here's the truth. You are not meant to burn endlessly for anyone. You are the fire that chooses where and when it burns. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. This is not just advice, it's a declaration of self-respect. When you're constantly giving, justifying, and chasing after validation, you are handing over your flame to people who will never fuel it in return. They will feed off your energy, their pride growing while you, slowly, diminish. When you choose to step back, when you stop burning for those who don't value your light, something extraordinary happens. They begin to feel the void. The darkness without your warmth makes them question their entitlement to it. Think about the sun. It burns with immense power, but it doesn't chase after the planets. The planets orbit it because of its sheer gravitational force. You are the sun. Once you stop chasing, your power is restored, and you radiate not out of need, but out of strength. Your silence becomes your flame, a beacon that says, I choose where to burn, and I will not burn for those who won't honor it. Picture yourself as a blazing fireplace in a grand hall. When people come to you, they bask in your warmth, soaking in your energy. But when they walk away, do you keep burning just for them? Number the flame's rest, conserving their heat for when it truly matters. Your silence, that pause, is the moment when you say, I will no longer burn for you. In that silence, your absence will be felt deeply, forcing them to face the pride that once made them take your warmth for granted. This isn't about extinguishing your flame, it's about preserving it. Choosing not to burn for those who don't deserve it isn't cruel, it's wise. You are protecting your fire from those who cannot or will not appreciate it. Just like a wildfire won't waste its power on barren land, you must refuse to waste your warmth on prideful hearts that cannot match your fire. Think of a lighthouse on the shore. Its light cuts through the night, steady and unwavering. It doesn't dim for those who ignore its brilliance, nor does it flare up for every ship that passes by. It shines because it was built to guide, to protect, to lead, but only for those who are searching, those who recognize its value. You are that lighthouse. Your light is constant, but it is not for everyone. When you stop burning for those who take you for granted, they'll be left wandering in the dark, searching for the radiance they once ignored. Choosing not to burn for others doesn't make you selfish. It makes you sovereign over your own energy. It's about saying, I refuse to pour my warmth into the void of someone else's pride. When you withhold your energy, you are sending a message far louder than any words could. I will no longer fuel your ego at the cost of my own fire. and that message, carried in your silence, shatters their pride more powerfully than any confrontation could. Remember, your flame is sacred. Not everyone deserves to bask in your light, and that's perfectly okay. You have the power to choose where you burn and who gets to feel your warmth. In that choice lies your freedom, your strength, and your peace. Affirm this with me. I am the flame, and I burn only for those who value my light. Drop this in the comments and make your declaration. Let the world know you are done burning yourself out for anyone's pride but your own. If this message has awakened something within you, like this video and subscribe to our channel. We are here to inspire, uplift, and empower you on your journey. Join our community, share this message, and let's build a world where we honor our own light, our own worth, and our own silence. Like, subscribe, and remember, your flame is powerful, and it deserves to burn only for those who truly value it. Number 3. Wear your silence. Like a crown. Have you ever noticed how a crown rests upon a ruler's head? It doesn't speak, doesn't shout for attention, yet its presence commands respect. That is the power of silence. Just like a crown, it sits atop you, radiating an aura of authority and unshakable self-worth. It isn't a tool to silence others, but a declaration of your inner sovereignty, reminding everyone around you that your value needs no defense, no explanation. When you wear your silence like a crown, you are not submitting to the noise around you. You are asserting your power, refusing to lower your energy to anyone's level. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best answer to anger is silence." When you wear silence as your crown, you don't engage in the chaos, you transcend it. Noise, conflict, and pride thrive in the back and forth of words, but your silence is not passive, it's potent. Like a ruler who doesn't argue with every subject, you stand firm, letting your quiet strength speak volumes. You don't need to respond to every challenge, because your silence carries more weight than words could ever offer. The prideful are left in turmoil because they can't provoke or manipulate the peace you have within. Picture a majestic lion standing tall in a field, observing the world around it without a single movement. The noise of the crowd, the distractions, the chaos of the world, none of it touches the lion. It's the same with your silence. It's not about running from conflict. It's about knowing you are the lion and nothing can shake you. Your silence elevates you above the drama. You're not just avoiding a fight. You're choosing to stay above it, untouched, untamed, and unbothered by the noise. When you choose to remain silent, your presence alone shifts the entire energy in the room. People may try to provoke you, seeking to trigger a reaction, but your silence acts as a shield. It's not that you don't care, it's that you value your peace too much to engage with petty pride. Your silence is a mirror for them, reflecting their insecurities and forcing them to confront what they truly fear. Like a crown, it stands tall, silent, and unapologetic, while their pride withers away, unable to touch you. Silence isn't weakness, it's presence. A fortress doesn't shout to prove its strength, it simply stands. When you don't feel the need to justify your worth or explain yourself, you're proclaiming, "I am enough." Just like a deep-rooted tree in the middle of a bustling city, your silence doesn't bend or break with every passing storm. While others rush to defend themselves or fight for validation, you remain grounded. You're not ignoring them. You're respecting yourself too much to engage with their fleeting drama. The more they push, the more solid your foundation becomes. The beauty of wearing your silence like a crown is that it gives you the power to walk through the world untouchable. When you refuse to play into their need for validation, you become a force they cannot control or predict. They can't rattle you, they can't provoke you, they can't figure you out. And that's when they realize your silence is their unraveling, and your peace is the ultimate power they cannot break. You've risen beyond the need to react. As you embrace this crown of silence, remember this. Your value isn't something to prove to anyone. It's something you carry quietly, with grace and dignity. Your boundaries are sacred, and no one can violate them without consequence. You're not running from conflict, you're choosing to rise above it. Your silence isn't empty, it is a declaration of your strength. It speaks louder than words ever could, saying, "I value my peace, and nothing can take that from me." Affirm this daily. I am the crown, steady and unshaken. Write this in the comments below as your declaration, and wear this mantra with pride. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're here to create content that empowers, uplifts, and inspires you to be your best self. Let's build a community of strength together. Wear your silence like the crown it is, and watch the world adjust to your power. Number 4. Anchor yourself in unshakable peace. Have you ever witnessed the calm of the ocean on a windless day? The water is a perfect mirror, reflecting the sky in flawless serenity, untouched by the world around it. That is the essence of anchoring yourself in unshakable peace. It's the power of staying calm, unwavering and steady when everything around you seems to be in turmoil. In a world where chaos is constant, where egos collide and pride runs rampant, your peace becomes your fortress. It is a power move that demands respect without you ever needing to lift a finger. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the heart of unshakable peace, the ability to detach from the madness others try to pull you into, holding firm to your own center. When prideful forces try to provoke, your peace stands as a mirror, reflecting back their insecurities. This isn't avoidance, this is mastery, the mastery of your inner world and the boundaries you've set. Imagine a vast desert under a blazing sun, where the sands seem to stretch endlessly. Now picture an oasis at its heart. The storm may rage, the heat may scorch, but that oasis remains untouched, its waters still and serene. This is you when anchored in peace. The world around you might churn with pride, ego and chaos, but your tranquility is unshakable. Their attempts to stir you are like stones thrown into a calm pond, creating only momentary ripples before your inner peace returns to its stillness. This isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending to be unaffected. It's about knowing where to direct your energy and refusing to allow anyone else's turbulence to steal your calm. Think of your peace as a rare gem, precious, beautiful, and worth guarding fiercely. Would you let just anyone touch it? You protect it at all costs. When you anchor yourself in unshakable peace, you become the gatekeeper of your inner world. You decide who is worthy of entering and who is not. Your silence in the face of provocation becomes the fiercest weapon. When you refuse to engage, the storm never comes. People may try to rattle you, but your calmness confounds them. They are left grappling with their own pride, questioning their own motives, while you stand unaffected. Like an immovable cliff that the ocean can crash against but never wear away, your peace endures. The more they try, the more their efforts fall away, powerless against your serene strength. Imagine a powerful tree, its roots reaching deep into the earth, standing tall no matter how hard the winds howl. That's you when you're anchored in peace. No external force can uproot you, because you are grounded in your own self-respect. When you protect your peace, it grows stronger and more resilient with every challenge. You become a force of nature that no one can sway or break. To anchor yourself in unshakable peace is to reclaim control over your mind and heart. It's not about being passive or indifferent. It's about being active in your calm. Your serenity isn't a weakness, it's a superpower. And when you wield it, you make a declaration: I am the master of my peace. Nothing and no one can take it from me. Remember, your peace is your most valuable possession. Guard it fiercely. When you anchor yourself in unshakable peace, you become untouchable, a force that cannot be disturbed. Write this affirmation in the comments below. I am anchored in unshakable peace. If this message resonates with you, like this video and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. We are building a community of strength, peace, and resilience. Join us on this journey to protect your peace, stand firm, and rise above it all. Number 5. Transform their pride into longing. Have you ever seen how absence lingers like a shadow, silently stealing the spotlight? It's like walking out of a room and leaving behind an echo that refuses to fade. That's the magic of choosing silence. The less you give, the more they crave. The quieter you become, the more deafening your absence becomes in their mind. Silence isn't just the absence of words. It's a masterstroke, turning their pride into longing, their certainty into doubt, and their ego into a swirling question: what did I lose? As the great Leonardo da Vinci once said, nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. But this isn't about exerting power or seeking revenge. It's about creating space, a void where their pride once stood. Pride thrives on attention, on constant validation. It feeds on knowing they're still on your mind. But when you pull back, when you stop pouring energy into them, something remarkable happens. Their pride begins to unravel, and in that emptiness, longing takes root. Picture a treasure chest, once full of gold and jewels, now left unopened in a dark room. Over time, the treasures grow dull, and the chest becomes a symbol of something precious that's been forgotten. That's your silence. The moment you withdraw, they start to realize that the treasure they once had is gone. Your absence forces them to confront what they lost, and suddenly they want it back. But it's too late. Their pride may have kept them blind, but now it's too heavy a burden for them to carry alone. It's not about cruelty, it's about transformation. You're giving them space to feel the weight of their own actions, to acknowledge the value they took for granted. Just like a rare, limited edition product, the more elusive you become, the more they crave your presence. Scarcity builds desire, and when you're constantly available, they begin to overlook you. But when you step back, when you stop offering yourself so freely, you become the rare gem they can't resist. Their pride will crack, bit by bit, under the weight of their longing. And that's when they start to question everything. This isn't about playing games. It's about reclaiming your value. When you choose silence, you place the focus back on you, where it was always meant to be. It's a quiet, powerful reminder that your time, energy, and presence are privileges, not guarantees. Think of a delicate flower that blooms in the quiet of dawn, untouched by the noise of the day. It doesn't beg for attention, it simply is, and its beauty draws you in. When you remove yourself from the chaos, their pride is forced to notice the void, and in that space, longing begins to grow. Your absence doesn't scream for their attention, it simply is, and that makes all the difference. Your silence is not weakness, it's strength. Like a magnet that loses its pull, at first they won't notice. But as your energy recedes, they'll feel the emptiness. That's when longing begins to grow, quietly but steadily, like the pull of the tide. They realize too late that it wasn't their pride that held things together. It was your presence, your energy, your attention. And now, without it, they're left with nothing but the painful echo of their own arrogance. This isn't a game of manipulation. it's a powerful act of self-respect. You're no longer fighting for their approval, and with every moment you stay silent, you're reclaiming your power. You're not emptying yourself to feed their ego. You're filling your own cup, restoring your energy. As they hunger for what they took for granted, you become more focused, more centered, and more confident in the value you bring. Affirm this: my silence is my strength, and my absence leaves an unforgettable mark. Write it in the comments below to declare your power, and remind yourself that you are the one who controls the energy you give. If this message resonates with you, if you're ready to transform their pride into longing and reclaim your energy, like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating empowering content that elevates and transforms lives. Together, we are building a community grounded in strength, self-respect, and growth. Let's rise in silence and shine in our power. Number 6. Build your own universe. While they watch, have you ever witnessed the quiet rise of a star in the night sky, breaking through the darkness with effortless brilliance? It doesn't beg for attention, doesn't ask for approval. It simply exists, lighting up the vast expanse with its quiet energy. That's the force you're about to channel as you build your own universe, one that they can only watch from afar. Instead of expending energy trying to prove yourself, defend your worth, or confront their ego, you will pour that energy into something far more powerful: yourself. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." By choosing to retreat from the noise, you aren't competing with them. You're crafting a life that's so fulfilling, so untouchable, that their pride has no place in it. Imagine the masterful skill of a sculptor, chiseling a masterpiece from raw stone. With every careful stroke, the sculpture takes shape, slowly but surely, silent, deliberate, and powerful. That's you at work, sculpting your future. Every moment you withhold your attention from their pride, every moment you focus inward, is another chip taken away from the stone, revealing your masterpiece. A life so vivid, so full, that they can only observe it, powerless to touch it. Their pride thrives on reactions, on validation, on pulling you into their web of ego. But when you stop engaging, you begin to transform the dynamic. Suddenly, their pride stands in front of a mirror that reflects nothing but its own emptiness. Meanwhile, you're creating a universe of success, peace, and fulfillment, one that doesn't just survive their absence, but flourishes in it. Think of a towering skyscraper rising above a bustling city. It doesn't fight for attention. It simply stands, unwavering, visible to all, but only accessible to those worthy of it. Your silence is the solid foundation beneath that structure, and with each brick you lay, your universe grows taller, stronger, and more undeniable. The higher you rise, the more they'll watch in awe, wondering how you built such a magnificent world, all while they were consumed by their own pride. You're not just surviving, you're thriving, expanding, becoming the architect of a reality that doesn't require their validation. Your silence isn't emptiness. It's the fertile soil from which your dreams take root. With every moment you choose not to engage, you're investing in your growth, creating a world that will leave them speechless when they finally see it. Their pride might have tried to keep you in a box, but your silence says, "I don't fit into your expectations." While they're tangled in their need to be seen, you're building a universe that commands respect, not attention. Picture a writer working late into the night, crafting a novel that no one sees being written. The pages are turning, the story unfolding, and when the world finally reads it, they are captivated by what they couldn't have known was being created in silence. When they finally glimpse what you've built, their pride will have no choice but to step aside. This isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you have always been enough, that you can rise higher than they ever imagined without their help, without their approval. Your universe isn't just a place of success, it's your sanctuary where your strength, peace and joy radiate from within. Every time you choose to stay silent rather than react, to create rather than confront, you add another star to your galaxy. And as you rise, they will watch, they will wonder, and in the end, they will understand. You didn't need them. You built this universe all on your own, and it's more powerful than anything they could have ever imagined. Here's your affirmation. I am building a universe that they can only watch. Write it down and claim it as your own. Let it remind you that your true power lies in your progress, not their pride. Let them see your brilliance, but never let them control your path. If this message resonated with you, if you're ready to create your own world and reclaim your energy, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We're committed to bringing you life-changing lessons that empower you to rise above and build a life that leaves a lasting legacy. Together, let's rise in silence, build in strength, and create worlds that no one can touch. Have you ever stood on the edge of a vast ocean, watching the waves crash, yet feeling the profound stillness within? It's the kind of silence that's not empty, but full of power, depth, and purpose. That's the silence we're talking about. It's the kind that reverberates through every corner of your being, demanding attention without saying a word. When you embrace silence, you're not withdrawing. You're asserting your presence in a way that cannot be ignored. It's your soul's roar, even when your lips remain still. As the poet Rumi once said, "Don't grieve. Anything you lose comes round in new form." That's the essence of silence. When you stop chasing approval or explanations, you create space for something even greater to take root, your own strength, your own voice. Your silence becomes the fertile soil where your true power begins to bloom. People who thrive on pride want noise. They want validation, answers, explanations. They demand that you feed their egos, engage in their drama, and surrender your peace to their need for attention. But when you refuse to engage, when you stand in the quiet of your own truth, something shifts. You rob them of the very thing they crave, your energy, your reactions. Your silence becomes the force that leaves them grasping at nothing. Think of a raging storm that stirs the sea, how it rips at everything in its path, loud and chaotic. But when the storm passes, it's the calm that endures. It's the calm that allows the waves to settle and the sky to clear. That's the power of your silence. In a world where everyone is clamoring for attention, you become the calm. You become the force that reshapes everything silently and with unwavering grace. Pride is loud. It demands your attention, feeds off your responses, and grows stronger the more you feed it. But silence? Silence is a quiet force that dismantles pride piece by piece. Picture an imposing tower, seemingly unshakable, standing tall. But one small crack, one moment of quiet energy, and the entire structure crumbles under the weight of its own fragility. That's the power of your silence. You don't need to fight or argue. Your silence does the work, showing them how easily their pride can fall apart when you stop feeding it. Your silence is a declaration, not of weakness, but of strength. It says, "I don't need to explain myself. I am enough as I am. I am whole without your validation." It's a silent revolution, one that doesn't demand recognition, but silently commands respect. While they scramble for your attention, you stand firm in your peace, knowing that your energy is far too precious to waste on the noise of their ego. In this silence, you are reclaiming your soul's song, a melody they can never truly understand. It's the anthem of your worth, your power, and your unshakable confidence. You are not retreating into silence. You are rising in it. Every time you choose to remain silent, you are adding a new note to your song, creating a symphony that resounds in the hearts of those who truly see you. So, when their pride calls for your attention, let your silence be your answer. Let it be the echo that lingers long after the noise fades away. In the quiet, they'll hear the truth you've been telling all along, that you are enough, that your soul's song is louder than their pride, and that your silence is a masterpiece in itself. Here's your affirmation: my silence is my strength, my anthem, my power. Write it down, let it sink into your soul, and make it the rhythm that guides you. Every time you feel the urge to explain or react, remember that your silence speaks louder than any words ever could. If this message resonates with you, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. We're here to help you embrace your true power, build your confidence, and live a life that's unapologetically yours. Let's continue to rise together, and remember, your silence is the masterpiece they'll never forget.